Hello everyone, it's Tess. I'll give it a couple of minutes and see who comes on board with us. And I'll get my other computer logged on in the meantime. So I guess I just want to catch up and see what everybody's up to today. So I'll give it a few minutes and see if we get any takers. I know it's kind of hot here. Probably not hot in comparison to, say, Texas, but I'll get my other machine going so I can watch for comments. I've been out and about handling. Oops, oh no, see, I'm making noise in two spots. I haven't done that in a long time. Here, let's see. Okay, there, I got it muted. It gives me a chance to catch comments. I don't see anybody on yet, but I'll give it a couple of minutes. Oh, gonna knock you guys over. I have a phone stand and I'm wobbling it. I'll give it a few minutes and see if I see one person. Hi, Rosemary, good to see you. I had a wobbling phone here it goes again. I better stop bumping it. I had a wobbly phone a few minutes ago. I figured we could touch base and see how everybody's doing and find out if anybody's struggling with anything. I actually just got off of a call on something really interesting that I'm going to do some research on. And I'll have to preface this by saying, no, Doc V, I have not joined anything new, but I was listening to something that I've already been a part of. And she was a microbiologist, and like Doc V, she's got, a strong background with facts, and she was talking about how our moods impact our hormones. So it was really kind of interesting. And really kind of what it allowed me to see is how all parts of our body work together. And it's when you start to dig in, like Doc V has told us a dozen times, hi, Pat, how are you? I'll give it a minute or two just to make sure. Oh, we have 3 or 4 now. Hello, everybody. I know we're not open anytime soon, but this just gives us a chance to talk and share what we're running across and share any victories anyone's having. If anyone's having struggles, we can help each other on the struggles. It's always nice, even if we don't use accountability partners in this group like we do in the paid challenge. This is just our way of being accountable to each other. So hello. And maybe even sharing things we've learned. And like I mentioned a minute ago, I haven't purchased any new groups, but I just was listening to a live from Zahar Mahoon, which is Unlimited. And she was talking about, because she was a microbiologist, she was talking about how our hormones are impacted also by how we feel, and like that positive thoughts and the negative thoughts, just like what we know when we're facing the obstacles in our weight loss journey. That and Doc V had a really great talk this morning about how we've really got to become strong in our conviction to make changes. We have to stop allowing other people, even if it's our own medical teams, to allow us to settle for less than, say, 100%, if 100% is what we're willing to put in the work to get. And kind of what he was talking about is that not everybody here is bariatric, and I think this applies to everybody, whether you're bariatric or not, but we can actually fall into a trap of, if the people around us start to tell us that we're looking good, if the people around us start to tell us that, well, you've lost enough weight, oh, you're getting too thin, oh, just enjoy this time out with me tonight. It's so easy to fall back into that old pattern. And I know I've been guilty of that a few times in my life, and I got to fight not to do it this time. I have to make sure that I can live my life, but live my life in a way that's allowing me to maintain this journey. So I think that if we can all think about that as we're going into this opening, like whether we're going traveling or visiting friends and family. Even now I'm noticing I'm getting a lot of requests from people. We haven't seen each other in a year and a half. Can we meet up? And those are things I have to take into consideration to make sure that I don't undo the success I've had in the past year. And it was really interesting this morning because the doc was talking about how, why is it okay that we accept 60% of, like when we have bariatric surgery, they say like 5 years out, which is pretty close to where I'm at. It's considered a huge success to have lost 60% of the original amount of weight you lost. And he's like, well, but why is that okay? Why is that enough? Why are we settling for less? Why are we not seeking more? And if you look around every area of our life, we settle for less. We can do a little, we settle for the faster foods because they're easier. We settle for the foods that are, there's so many areas like, instead of the green smoothies, we want to drive through the smoothie. Sometimes we probably need to make the smoothie. We need to make the salad. I know it takes time, but what I've found in my journey this past year is that I have a misconception of how much time it really takes. Like, to put together a salad that I should be eating doesn't need to take that much time. If I bake eggs, I might bake a dozen eggs because I like, and I know I've said this before, but I like to take vegetables of all sorts, cut them up small, mix them with eggs. Sometimes I'll put a container of cottage cheese in it too, mix them up, and I'll throw them in muffin pans and I'll bake them, and then I'll just keep them in the fridge. So I'll have those handy as a snack. Because what I'm trying to recognize is, one, foods that make my body feel good, and two, foods that it helps me to identify, am I truly hungry, or am I, is it mind hunger? And mind hunger, I guess I'm going to start to label marketing hunger, because that, for me, that's what it is. I saw something on TV, it looked really good. Suddenly, I am dying if I don't have it. That was probably the biggest one for me to overcome, because I used to be the marketer's. Well, hi, Lori, good to see you. I was talking a little bit about Doc V this morning and how good his talk was, in that, like, identifying that we live in a society now that allows us to accept less. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want less. We've all worked hard, and life may or may not get easier as things start to open. And if we can do little things and get ourselves next level, and I know Lori's doing a lot of things, and I'm kind of following in her footsteps, trying to catch up, but don't sell yourself short. Don't let somebody tell you that 60% is good enough, because if you have the desire and the drive to go further, don't let somebody tell you no. Don't let somebody tell you you're getting too thin. Don't let somebody tell you, oh, it's okay, you've been really good for a week. You don't need to, you can have that drink, or you can have that ice cream, or you can have that cake. It's you that gets to decide. And if they're your friends and they care about you, they will accept it. I have accepted less for too long. Yeah, Lori, and I'm thinking that too. And there's so many, when you guys stop and you open up, there's so much around you that you're not even seeing, because I almost feel like we got put in a box, and I'm going to say a car and a train. We got put in a car and a train, and we just keep following the track they put us on. Well, I don't want to do that anymore. And I'm not going to accept anymore that somebody tells me what I've done is enough. I need to decide if it's enough. And I'm going to tell you, 90% of the time it's not enough, because I came here to live a life of experiences. I had this surgery because I wanted to live a life of experiences. And I sat back today, and I had a one-on-one with my boss, and she was asking me like what I was going to do. Now, in her case, she wants me to be telling her I'm traveling all around the world because she wants to pull me back in the office. But she can't do that yet because HR has deemed us remote until September. They just want to wait and see what's going to happen before they get everybody in the office. And they're not going to bring us all back full-time. We may not come back to a full-time in the office, but they're still trying to work that out. So they're going to give us the summer to continue remote. But I had surgery because I truly, at a BMI of 60, was sitting on the sidelines watching life go by. I don't want to do that anymore. And Doc V's talk this morning, oh, thank you, Lori. Yeah, the accepting less for too long or over. And that's the thing. Doc V has such a team of people that there are things like I'm contemplating, and they're all things I'll probably discuss with Lori at some point, because I'm like knee deep in all this stuff now. And it's so exciting because I can see a different life. I can see this journey through this challenge has made my life more than I ever dreamed of before surgery. I'm seeing avenues, I'm seeing expressways, I'm seeing roadways open up that I never knew existed. Yeah, like Lori says, and everybody in the challenge says, we had surgery to change our lives. And in changing our lives, it's more than the food and the weight. It's the jobs and the homes and the people that you're with and the things that you accomplish and it doesn't have to be that you're fame and you're gonna leave your name in lights when you leave, but that you left this world better than when you came into it. And I don't think there's any better gift than that you touched somebody while you were here and touched them in a positive way, because we've had so much of that downtrodden. I live, and this is so sad, and you've probably seen it on the national news. I live in a state where we had somebody shoot a 6-year-old kid. The kid survived. Somehow this guy got released on a very low bond, and they were trying to scoop him back up today. So sad. And what's sad is that was a person that's hurting. And I hope that as the world opens up, I'm not going to judge somebody who makes a mistake. I'm just going to hope they get help so that they're not hurting anymore, so that they make better decisions. And I think that's what I want for the whole world to heal, so that we can all do better things. We have better things available to us if we open up and give it a chance. Even like just before I went live, and I'm going to go back and re-listen to it, Sahar Mahoon, I mentioned with Unlimited, she's the law of attraction. She was doing a talk today because she's formerly a microbiologist, and she was talking about hormones and how our hormones are almost, they're connected to our moods, which kind of goes back and forth with, you have to believe that you can, you have to say that you can, you have to clear the negative thoughts and the negative filters out of your brain. But she was kind of explaining that she saw studies that if you put your mind in that place where you don't feel good about yourself and your self-confidence is low and your self-worth is low, your body starts producing, and we've heard this with cortisol, your body starts producing hormones kind of in that same pattern because it's trying to fix things, but in some cases it makes you go further into that hole you're trying to go into. So it's amazing the complex body that we have, and it's no wonder we struggle so hard to overcome the obstacles. But what we can never do is give up. We can never give up. And I think what we can't do either is we have to know in our heart of hearts and in our souls that we've done the most we can. And when somebody tells us, well, you look good enough, you've done enough, oh, you're further than you were a year ago, you have to stop and look inside your own heart and say, thank you for what you said, but is it true? Am I ready to stop? And for most of us, I don't think we are ready to stop. You know, it is back to the Les Brown, too many gifts are in the graveyard. And for those of us losing weight and gaining control of our life, we want to experience it. And I'm going to tell you guys, like, my mailbox is full of things that are just like, the doc calls them shiny objects, and I have to be careful because I promised not to sign on any shiny objects for the next month. But it's exciting to find new avenues and new things to look at and new things to learn. And I think learning about your body and how your emotions can impact your health and impact the food choices. And we all know that when we get into that, and I talked about, because this is another thing I've been challenged to this month, is to look at imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome, the short and dirty answer is when your competence, when your skills don't match your confidence. So if I, and I had to come up with examples of it, and I went back and I looked, but like I had an opportunity where I was presented a chance to move into a management. Mom's trying to call, I'll call her back later. But I was offered a position, but because I was so heavy, because I didn't believe in myself, because they put me into a spot with a supervisor who had 2 years and they wanted the two of us to duke it out, I fell into a victim and I fell down into a well, and I more or less didn't even try. I gave up without giving it a try. That was imposter syndrome. I allowed myself to give up on myself. I'm not mad because I've learned from it. I'm not mad at them either because that's kind of the way the business world works. But I'm going to learn from it and make sure, keep pushing. Yep, here's Lori. Keep pushing, keep walking through fear, and keep doing better than you did the day before. And that's so true. And Lori is absolutely right. And what I even realized for me is that I learned that I didn't believe in myself, and I think most of us who struggle with weight don't believe in ourselves, and that's where we have to turn it, and that's where we have to hold on when we run into the obstacles. And like the doc was saying, talking a lot this morning about being at why is 60% acceptable? Hi, Gina, good to see you. Why is 60% of our excess weight an acceptable and applauded goal after we have surgery? And he's right. We've gotten, I don't even want to say the word lazy. We've gotten complacent. We've accepted less. And I don't even want to say the word lazy. Society is accepting less for themselves, and we don't have to do that. We don't have to accept less for ourselves. And it's time that we stop accepting less for ourselves and fight for more. And that means the learning. And I know I've mentioned this a couple times, but I'm going to go back and re-listen to the video I was listening to before I came on here, where they were talking about how your hormones are also impacted by how you feel about yourself, because that's kind of important to know that not only is the food impacting how your body feels, your thoughts are impacting how your body feels, but your hormones that are part of your body are actually, my mom wants to visit her brother, which is kind of cool. That'll be a good thing. But so all these things are coming together, and it's no wonder we have issues, because we've got to put all these pieces together. We've got the negative thoughts, or the fat filters that the doc talks about. We've got our hormones working in our body. We've got these foods with all these foreign compounds getting in there and mixing things up. And we have to take one small step at a time. Never let somebody tell us it's enough, and we have to keep working at it. We have to, and I know Lori will agree with this, once you start seeing things happen that you never even dreamed were possible, it kind of opens up a whole new field, and there's an excitement. And when that excitement builds, you don't want to settle for 60%. You don't want to settle for 100%. You're looking for 1,000,000%, because you know what? What we thought was 100% is probably a tip of the iceberg of what's out there. And you guys, don't give up on yourselves. Don't let somebody else tell you you can't do it. Go for it all, and go for it now. You're never too old. I'm going to tell you that. You're never too old to reach for the stars. You know that, and that is funny. As a child, they told me I was a daydreamer, so maybe I had something back then. But my computer shut off. But here, I'll turn it this way. It doesn't want to turn. But reach for the stars and make your life what you want it to be. I truly believe that we are actually only tapping into a very small percentage of what is available to us. And I don't want that for me, and I don't want that for you either. Maybe that's not going to work, so I'll just kind of watch the comments on the phone. But I'm learning through this process that I don't think I even tapped into 10% of what's available out there for me or for anybody else. So I think you guys got to stick in there. You gotta not let somebody else talk you down the well with them. If they're ready, you can reach them up the well with you, but don't let them talk you down, because all these things I'm seeing right now are things that were never even in the peripheral vision, and they're there. They're there, and they're available, but they're all parts of your life. And that might scare some of you, but you can improve your financial life. You can improve your employment life. You can improve your health. You can improve your fitness. You can improve your business. You can open a business. That's something I've done during this process, and I've been talking to some teams to get ideas of how to best make that lay out for the rest of my life. I can see that people see a difference in me because I've been working on this for a year, and I want that for you too. You have to never give up on yourself. You have to Yeah, it's not going to work, so I'll ignore that computer for now. But I will share everything I learn with you, and we come together here so you guys can share too. And if you're struggling, please reach out. Don't ever give up on yourself. There are so many things that we're not even barely touching the iceberg on. Even like and there's an excitement in it. It's almost like being that kid that's just born again. You know, like a child has a natural curiosity. An adult can have a natural curiosity too. When you let yourself be true to yourself, when you let yourself look at who you are and stop letting the world tell you what you should be. And that's where I think we've messed up. Oh, maybe the number lock's not. Well, okay. Maybe I should just give up on this other computer. But I guess that's really what I'm thinking today, is that for too long we've let society, we've let other people tell us how we're supposed to direct our future. And I think it's time that we took it back. And I think for all of us, it's going to be scary. And I'm going to tell you, this was really scary at first. The doc scared me very, very badly in the beginning. And I didn't think I'd make it past the first 3 months. Now, a year and a half later, I'm like, I will stalk you no matter where you go, because I'm not leaving. But open yourself up to the chances that are out there. This is a new start going on right now. What do you want to work on right now? Do you want to work on your food? Do you want to work on getting a little more active? Do you want to work on maybe, because even your job, if you're in a job, you got to make the most of the job that you're in right now. The life that you have is going to feel better if you make yourself feel better, which means that if you go to your job, you have to go to your job feeling good, because if you feel good and you put yourself in that place of feeling good, you do a better job and it resonates with them. What I realized when I was looking at the imposter syndrome is that I told them that I couldn't do the job. They believed I could do the job. I told them I couldn't do the job because I lacked the confidence. So what they did is accepted what I told them. It wasn't their fault. It was my fault, because I didn't believe in myself. And I think that's what a lot of us need to do, is stop letting the outside voices tell us, and open up and have the green smoothie. You'll find the green smoothie that you love. Increase the water. Do a little activity. Research the businesses. Chris Nagel's team is doing amazing things for many people in the challenge group. We're meeting people that we would have never met before. Even inside the challenge, we're meeting people, and the growth is amazing. 100%. Yeah, like Lori's saying, 100%. I'm blown away. And I'm just talking about, like, even in this past week or so, I put together my goals and I'm like changing them week after week, but that's okay. Knowing that I have a chance to make the future brighter, and that I'm not going to say there isn't going to be struggles. We all know there's struggles. My historical past is that I spent too much time, and this might be some of you guys too, and I spent too much time analyzing everything that I thought could go wrong in preparation, and what I didn't realize is I was standing still. I was letting everything else happen. So many of us are at a point in our lives that we have such a repertoire of stuff inside of us that we have the tools to act as things come up. So what I've kind of learned from Doc V and from the other mentors that he's introduced us to is that what we need to do is be moving forward, and pick what it is you want to move forward on right now. Do you want to improve your green smoothies? Do you want to improve your weight loss? Do you want to improve your job? Do you want to look for getting a different job? But I'm going to caution you. If you're looking for another job, you still need to be the best person you can on the job that you're in. Because what seems to happen to people that I've talked to is, if you don't put yourself in that place where you're being your best, if you put yourself in that place of feeling bad about yourself, you carry that to you with the next job, and the next job seems to be the same failure that the first one was. You have to be responsible and moving forward. But moving forward, stop that spinning wheel. And I'm going to tell you, I was probably the absolute worst at it. I would analyze and analyze and analyze, and I didn't pull the trigger. And Doc V talked about that a couple weeks ago. I don't know if the challenge was open when he talked about it, but he said that we've all heard ready, aim, fire. It's aim. No. Scratch that. See, I still can't say it right. It's fire. It's ready, fire, aim, adjust, fire, adjust, fire, adjust, fire. You adjust after you fire, because we got to stop this aiming, because while you aim 15 times, I'm going to take the shot, move forward, take the shot, move forward. By the third shot, I'm to the finish line and you're still aiming. And you know, it was so aha when he said that. And I'm like, yeah, I've probably done enough analysis that there's not really much that I couldn't overcome, and I never had the confidence to move forward. So if you guys aren't moving forward, find something and just do something to move forward. And don't let anybody tell you that, oh, you're fine. It's kind of a, you don't want to come to the end of your days and decide that you missed out on opportunities. And I had there are people who don't have surgery. I had surgery because I wanted to change my life. I think anyone who has weight loss surgery wants to change their life. You can't change your life until you start the momentum to move forward. And that's going to mean taking some steps that are uncomfortable, taking some shots that are going to miss, but adjusting and moving along. And then you can keep moving forward. And I feel like I've been all over the place tonight, but there is such an excitement about all the things out there. If I could let you guys see just a little bit of what we're seeing in the challenge, of what's available to us and what's available. And it's not limited to us because we're in the challenge. Everything, what they're helping us to do is to open the blinders and to finally believe and to give ourselves a chance to reach past what we've always known. And that's what you guys all want to do for yourselves today. You want to reach, well, let's see, you want to reach past what you've always known and do something more. I know, I don't even know what time it is anymore. But there's a lot out there. And I think a lot of us are going to look really different in 1, 2, 3, 5 years. You're going to probably come back here and be shocked. Yeah, remove all the filters. And those filters, Doc V has a filter talk. You can go to YouTube and follow any of his videos. He has a filter talk about how we get pre-programmed and we end up with all these thoughts about, and it kind of relates to all areas of our lives. We have thoughts because we're women. We have thoughts because we're whatever nationality we are. We have thoughts because we went to college. We have thoughts because we didn't go to college. We have thoughts because we had a certain surgery. We have thoughts because we eat certain foods. We have all these things that have built up over the years. And the best gift we can give ourselves is try to release those and put the new thoughts in to open up the world, because everything is unlimited. Oh, yeah, Pat, I'll actually look for it and I'll put it in, the fat filter talk, because he actually even explained that. And he kind of even pointed out that you're going to have to look at every single day. And I've said, I do this every day. I have a card every night before I go to bed, and I will say, I want to sleep well. I want to reset and rejuvenate. I want to refresh my body, and I want to wake up feeling energized and eager for my day, because I'm trying to control all those monkey thoughts. We call it monkey brain. I'm trying to control all those monkey thoughts because my mind is a beautiful thing, and it likes to create all kinds of problems for me to solve the next day. So through this process and through meditation and through like the law of attraction with the Harmon, I learned about this thing called pre-paving. And that's what that thought is with the comments on a card, is I tell my mind, or the monkey who's sitting on my shoulder, I tell it what I want it to do for the night. It feels weird at first. It feels uncomfortable at first. But now if I lay down and I haven't done it, I will wake right back up, because I want that monkey in its right place while I'm trying to sleep, because I can't control it when I can't see it. And when I can see it, it behaves better. I do the same thing when I get up in the morning. When I get up in the morning, I have another card, and the card says, I want to have a good day. I want to be energized and eager. I want to appreciate myself and those around me. I want to be thankful and grateful and end this day appreciative. So I do that before I go to, or before I start the day, because that's kind of my lead into meditation. Well, hi, Stephen. I'm at a bat with live. Maybe you should turn it off then. He's playing outside because the world opened up. So think about the tools you can put into play to help you clear the clog and bad thoughts and the negative things that people have put in your way. You don't want to come to the end of your days and have left your gifts behind. And I'm telling you, there is so much out there that even me, who has been a seeker of knowledge and a learner for my whole life, never even thought I could even remotely reach for. And I'm doing things that, actually, even today, I was with my mom earlier today, and she said, I'm glad to see you putting this journey to use. I'm glad to see you stepping out of what was comfortable for you. I'm glad to see you moving forward. And the people who care about you want that for you. So if somebody is trying to hold you back, maybe that's someone that you have to have on a little bit of a limited basis. Don't sell yourself short. 40% of your weight loss isn't good enough. A business that is just barely covering the bills isn't good enough. There are people that will teach you what they've learned to make themselves better. There are people that will teach you what they're eating that make them lose more weight. There are people that will teach you what they're doing to help you improve yourself. Doc V always kind of refers to it as reaching a hand up. There's always somebody who wants to reach a hand up and bring you up. The difference is it's not a handout, because a handout will never help anyone. We listened to a Grant Cardone video today, and I didn't know that Grant Cardone was a drug addict until today. And Grant Cardone got beaten nearly to death and still picked up drugs again. And basically what ended up happening is what finally broke him and allowed him to find out who he truly was, and to finally take off the blinders and reach into the world and make himself what he is right now, is that he went home one day and he was still using drugs, and his mom said, no more. I'm not enabling you anymore. Don't come back. As long as you're on drugs of any time, don't come back. I don't want to see you. I don't want any part of this anymore. I'm sure as a parent, that was the hardest thing in the world to do. No shame in coaches or mentors. And Lori's right, because I'll tell you, I'm meeting some amazing people, and they care so much about helping you. I mean, it is true. And I feel that way. I do this because it helps me stay accountable. But when people reach out to me and say stuff, it warms my heart, because I'm doing it for me, but to help somebody else just makes it, it magnifies it. So these mentors, you can tell they're passionate. They really care. They want to help you. And if you're willing to open yourself up, it's beautiful. There are mentors right in this very group. That's why if you have thoughts or questions, reach out, because there's somebody who will tell you their favorite cold smoothie, their favorite warm smoothie, what they did to first start exercise. If you want to start exercising, people do 5Ks to the couch. But I thought it was interesting. I've read an article from a woman who was actually a health coach, and she was writing for a health magazine. And she admitted that through COVID, she let all of her habits go by the wayside, and she could not get herself motivated. And finally, what she did is she wrote this article, and she said, I do it 1 minute at a time. That's the only way she got it back, was 1 minute at a time. All she required of herself was 1 minute of activity a day. And then when she mastered that 1 minute, it naturally grew to 2. However, she did not move it up to 2 minutes immediately. She let her body get used to it, to where she was fighting it before she labeled it to a day. Because you don't want to label it if you can't commit to it. You want to be able to achieve it. But what she did is she built the momentum. And it sounds like maybe she's selling herself short, but what she did is she recognized her weakness in giving up if it was too hard of a goal. So she set a goal she could achieve so that she was still in the game a year later. And she's still in the game, and she's health coaching, and she's writing articles in health magazines. But I found it comforting that a woman who was a health coach who struggled during COVID was honest enough to say that in the worst part of COVID, the only way for her to overcome it was 1 minute. 1 minute each day to change her life. So if she can take 1 minute each day to change her life, you can take 1 minute, just 1 minute to change your life. 1 minute to read a book. I play things in the background. If I'm driving, I don't listen to the radio anymore. I listen to a YouTube, or I listen to yes, I still have a DVD player in the car, but listen to something. Find something that keeps you moving forward. I know I fell into that habit of thinking that I deserved time to myself, but what I didn't realize is that I was writing off my opportunities to grow and to become more. And now that I've had this chance to start to learn and to grow and to become more, I'm finding that I like this person a lot better. I like learning. I like growing. I like seeing new things. And I'm finding my relationships are better for it. I'm learning more about people. I'm understanding more about people. And I'm handling things better because I'm not living in that place where I'm caught in a circle, spinning out of control, never moving anywhere. That's what we don't want. We don't want to live our lives never moving anywhere. And Pat, you're right. Just 1 minute. Give yourself 1 minute. Everybody's got 1 minute. Then when you're solid and you're comfortable, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now, make it 2 minutes and then 3 minutes. But every single day will build momentum. And a year from now, your life will be it'll be hugely different. I couldn't have imagined my life now a year ago because I've done some things that I never thought I would do, and it feels really good. I have no idea what the next year is going to bring, and it's exciting, but I couldn't have done it without Doc V and all the amazing people in this tribe, all of your support, and all of the mentors and the program. And I know I've promised no more programs for a while, but the programs I've got involved with, the mentors I've reached out to, that became a passion for me. That's how much I enjoyed it and loved it. The learning was so passionate about it that the doc is right. I have to get a hold of all the ones that I have right now and learn what I can from them and exhaust them before I move to the next level. I was spinning. I went from one extreme to the other. I was spinning this way to spinning this way. It's a good thing they didn't catch me and put me in jail. But it's fun. It's exciting. Even like Lori, if we could explain to you, like even some of the stuff we're seeing in Chris Nagel's team and the understanding of looking at things different, Dr. V and the understanding of why are we settling for less than what we have available? Yeah, Doc V. And I think I'm not much before you. I think I started in March or April, but it's been a year, and I know we can all tell you guys, life-changing. If you commit to it, you do the homework, and you listen to the lives every day, it's life-changing. But the gift in this group is, I know he's not live in here every day, but he truly does give you the core values in here that what he has, and they will change your life if you get started on them. And use this team, use the people inside this group to ask questions, to share successes with, to if you're struggling, to reach out to. I've had people reach out to me, and I help to the best of my ability. I'm not medical. I am a bariatric patient who's 5 years out. I'm down like 165 pounds, 45 during COVID. I'm just a person on the journey, but I will share with you what I do myself and what I've learned from this journey. And there's a million other people, well, not a million, that's an exaggeration, but everybody else out here is the same way, because there are people on today that are members just like I am, and they're here because they want to help you, and they're supporting me, which is so awesome. So take this chance. Don't sell yourself short. Even if it's just 1 minute can change your life. And remember, you're worth it. It's time to open the blinders. I think it was Sadhguru or somebody that was talking about, or Les Brown. There's a lot of stuff outside of the blinders that we don't even know exists yet. And I'm going to tell you, I know without a doubt that's true. And if it's true for me, I know it's true for you. So reach out of your comfort zone. Somebody said it better. Increase the size of your comfort zone. Release those negative thoughts. Stop being paralyzed in a spinning circle like I was. Move forward and adjust your aim as you keep moving forward. Reach out. We're all here for you. We want you to succeed, and we want you to find the same joy that we're all finding. I'm here for you guys. If you need anything, I'll do what I can to help you. And there's other people here. So share your successes, share your failures, share your thoughts, and together we'll all make 2021 shine and make anything that was before that just pale, and we'll forget about it. So thank you guys so much. Have a beautiful night. I appreciate you all so much, and have a beautiful night.